I feel like a completely different human being. Like, genuinely, I do not feel any old version of me. I experienced a lot of heartbreak. There have been so many times where I was like, is my business gonna make it? I do everything, but I just do it scared. Moving the location so quickly, it was scary, but I had to do it. I wanna move my business to operating without me. That's what I wanna do in 2026. Welcome back, guys, to Am I Doing This Right? The podcast. We're in 2026, and I'm so grateful to be here on my couch with Benny. He's here too. I want to do a little recap. This is just a solo episode, super intimate. Grab some wine, grab some coffee, some popcorn, whatever it is, and pull up a seat because I'm going to recap everything that went down in 2025 and what we're moving into for 2026. I feel like a completely different human being. Like, genuinely, I do not feel like any old version of me, any doubt, any insecurities that I had when I first started my business or, just trying to figure everything out. I genuinely feel completely different in the best ways, but also I'm still scared. Just to recap 2025, not only did I find my footing when it comes to the business and hiring an esthetician and then firing an esthetician and bringing on a new one. Now we have Adelaide, and she's literally the best thing since sliced bread. She's perfect for Joia Skin in every way, and I can't wait to continue expanding the team and growing and bringing on a receptionist and all that jazz. It's just going to be such a great year. Aside from all of that, I also went through a lot. I experienced a lot of heartbreak. I lost my abuelo, rest in peace. And that was a huge turning point for me and my family. He was 91 with dementia, and we knew that he was going to pass. But still, there's a process of grieving and, coming together with your family and just everything that requires, right? So I had to take some time off of work to process that. In my personal life, dating and heartbreak and all of that, I went through a lot of that in 2025. So I'm praying for a successful and a happy year and not giving any of my time to a crusty, dusty man. So, yeah, cheers to that. Like I said, you need your wine for this episode. I do want to talk about some lessons that I learned in 2025 because the amount of growth that has happened in business and my personal life, I definitely feel like I am in a really good position to give to others and to mentor them. And I feel really strong, but it's only because I was able to navigate, the finances of the business, figuring out what's the next step. Like, what are we going to do this month? Marketing, social media, how do we move forward? What do my clients want to hear? What do my friends need from me? What does my family need from me? All the while still dealing with my own shit, for lack of a better word, right? So I think that in 2026, I'm able to take a lot of my pain and my heartache and really turn it into something beautiful, because I think the best thing about aesthetics, like, genuinely, is that we're so empathetic and we build relationships. And as you grow in your 20s, I'm 28, I'll be 29 this year. I think that it definitely refines you as a woman to experience difficult things when it comes to entrepreneurship, because it kind of has you in your masculinity a little bit, because you have to be the one that's dealing with everything, handling it all, and putting out the fires and making the decisions. And that's exhausting. And I just want to be babied sometimes. Like, I genuinely just want somebody to like take all of my issues and be like, don't worry, I got it, you know? And so because I don't have that and I have to constantly figure out what is my next step, and because my family and the people around me have never been in the position that I'm in, it's like, who do I ask? Who do I talk to? What do I do, right? So with all of that being said, I I do everything, but I just do it scared. Like, since I started my business, I've been very scared. And everybody's like, oh, but you don't look stressed. You look like you're carrying all of this fine and blah, blah, blah. And that's not really the point. It doesn't mean that you don't need help. It doesn't mean that you're not struggling. It doesn't mean that, you are not experiencing really difficult times and just not telling anybody. Like, there have been so many times where I was like, is my business going to make it? Like, what am I doing? What is it that I want? Am I still happy? Like, am I really enjoying doing facials and doing services? Like, what's the direction of everything? Because if we're not happy and we're not operating at 100, it's really, really hard to go in every day and to listen to your clients and to take on what they're saying. And, all of that is energy, and, it can be draining, right? Anyways, I say all of that to say that 2025 was, I think it was the year of the snake. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think this year is the year of the horse. And if you're not getting on the horse is leaving. Like, that's genuinely what it is. You have to just jump into whatever it is God is calling you to do, whatever vision you feel you have for your life. I encourage you to do it, and do it scared, and do it all the way, and give it your best until you have nothing left, because nothing comes to you just by chance. When you have an idea, or you feel, you get a thought, or you just are like maybe I should start doing this, or maybe I should try this. None of that is by accident. So this year, I don't know if you guys know, but Joia Skin moved into a new location, and I was not planning on moving into a new location like for another 2 years. The old location that I had, I was there for 3 years, and literally within the first year, I outgrew it. There wasn't enough space. I genuinely felt like the location, it was okay. People still drove to me, but I wanted to be somewhere else. And so I think that moving the location so quickly, it was scary, but I had to do it. I had no other choice. So we moved December 29th to a new location, and we literally moved like there was a fire underneath our asses. Like, we needed to leave and we could not stay there. And there's no beef with my old landlord, but she didn't want us there anymore, and like, I knew that there were things that we were lacking, right? So we didn't have a washer and dryer in our unit. We were taking our laundry home every day for 3 years. Well, me, and then now Adelaide. And that's a lot. There was not enough storage. The location was too south in Orlando, and a lot of my clients are Winter Park, College Park, Mills 50. And so there were a lot of things stacked against us that I was like, okay, we could do so much better with more space. And I don't know, I just feel like people are not ready for me to pop off. Like, the fact that I have so much space now, I'm like, you guys are not ready. Like, we're doing a full renovation in the lobby, in the treatment rooms, and it's just going to be beautiful. And I'm so blessed that we were able to get this space. And the new landlords, they're so nice, so genuine, and they just want to see me grow. But it was extremely difficult to, go through the holiday season, Christmas. I went on a trip to Dubai in December. And when I got back, I had to pick up my whole business and move appointments, cancel appointments. So it was just a lot of stress that I literally wish for nobody. But I'm really glad that we were able to do it. All of my friends and my family, they helped. And now in the new space, I have one, two, three treatment rooms, a huge lobby, a beautiful bathroom, and then I also have a unit in the back, and it's its own building, and it's kind of like salon suites. So when you walk in, there's a lobby, there's 2 rooms, a bathroom, and then a laundry room. So I'm really, really grateful, and I'm excited to see what Joia Skin is gonna do in 2026. But I'm so drained. Like, I feel like my year is just starting right now. Like the first couple days of the year, I was like overwhelmed. Moving into a new space, there's a lot of moving parts, So we're actually doing like a walkthrough and an inspection tomorrow because today the AC broke. So there's just so much more responsibility when you get into a bigger space, like more square footage, more problems. You know what I mean? Some goals that I have for this year that typically I'm not the type to talk about my goals, especially not on social media, because I genuinely do believe that there are some people that don't want to see you win. And like, as good as Joia Skin is doing, and like people will look at the Instagram of Joia Skin and they're like, oh, she has this many followers, and she's doing great, and blah blah whatever. Like, envy and jealousy is very alive. And I try my best not to entertain that, not to attract that, but I'm tired of keeping my goals to myself because I do feel like successful people utilize others in their network, and you never know like what somebody has access to, what resources they have, or just anything that could probably elevate where you're at in life. So I want to talk about all of my goals, and I want to tell you guys what my goals are, because I think maybe somebody that can help me do whatever at Joia Skin, like on the property, or like whatever it is. I just feel like not just entrepreneurs, not just estheticians, but all entrepreneurs, I think we're just figuring it out. Like, there are a lot of people in business, people that I'm friends with, that they're older than me, or maybe they have a business in a completely different realm, but they look at me and they're just like, how do you figure all of this out? Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, the amount of resources that we have at the tip of our fingers is insane. But also, I just use my brain cells, and I'm like, let me figure this out because I have no other choice. Even if I don't know anybody that's done it, or know anybody that might know somebody, I figure it out because I already know what I want it to be. And if it exists, I can have it. Point blank, period. So that's the energy that I'm on in 2026, is that just because the year changed and January 1st hit, like, it's not about New Year's resolutions. It's not about let me start now because it's January 1st. It's about all of the things that we were already doing in 2025, and us being consistent and just getting bigger and better. That's what it's about. So moving into this new location kind of lit a fire underneath me, because I'm like, okay, if I was not ready, I would not have the opportunity. So calm down, just take a beat and think about like taking the first step in front of you. So I made a list, and I walked around, the whole spa, and I made a list of all of the things that were ugly, that I didn't like, that I want to change. Made a list, and then it's pretty much just about, okay, now next day, the day that I have off, let me go to Home Depot and shop for these things. Let me do, day by day, little by little. But having my clients come in and see the new space, even though it's not the way that I want it to be yet, they're excited, and they know that whatever I touch becomes great, like, so whatever it is that you're doing, whatever work that you do, your passion project, whatever line of work that you're in, I just encourage you this year to reevaluate, reassess, look at what's working, look at what's not working, and see what you can do better, because the clients that you have, as you continue on, like, there's people that they're coming back to me now that haven't had facials in maybe a couple of years, you know, and they're like, oh my God, you're so much closer to me. Sometimes location is everything, and sometimes it's just a matter of moving 15 minutes up the road, you know? Like, that's a big deal to me. Recently, we've been posting more on social media about certain products, and like clients that haven't purchased from me in years are coming back and they're like, oh my God, it's the best, blah, blah, blah. You know, so like there's just a lot of things like that I was experiencing in 2025, hardships, losing clients, us being slow. I've been in business for a long time and I have never had a year like 2025. Just having to do funny reels and you know, just be outrageous and over the top on social media just to get a new client, that's crazy to me, you know? Whereas a couple years ago, it wasn't like that. The algorithm is different, things are changing, like so many things stacked against you that it is what it is. Accept it, move on, right? So I just feel like the best thing that we can do is continue elevating and take it a step by step. Just take it step by step. That's it, right? So moving into this place really like shook my system to the core because like seeing my parents be so excited. Like I remember my dad came to clean out it's just like a fixture. Yeah, so like there were a bunch of bugs in these light fixtures. And I was like, "Dad, I need your help, blah blah blah." Cuz listen, my dad, like if you're not going to do it, my dad will do it, okay? My dad is that guy. So my dad comes to the new location. He had never seen it. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, Ericka, I cannot believe this." Like he was impressed and in shock. Like they're excited for me, but it's like it's different to see a light inside of your parents' eyes that you've never really seen before, you know? Like just a different level of them being proud. And I think that is just my driving force. Like that's my motivation in 2026. So I I say all of this to tell you guys that the big goals that I have in 2026 are to move from operating my business from such a masculine, like survival mode place to a feminine, pink collar, like excited, energetic place. I don't want to come into work and, excuse me, and be so stressed and overwhelmed that I can't give to my clients because I'm worried about, you know, goals for the week or finances, or I'm worried about, you know, the products on the shelf or inventory or whatever. Like, I want to be delegating like a boss, okay? I want a receptionist. I want to be delegating so much that I'm just like, I'm expanding my team. I'm not worried. The business is growing. Like things are operating smoothly. I'm not forgetting anything because I'm ADHD, okay? And I just want to build a brand and continue building a business that doesn't have to function just on me and my services. So I was telling Juan, who does all of our social media at Joia Skin, I was telling him that I want to move my business to operating without me, because at the end of the day, we're service providers. But if I want to take a month vacation and go to the Amalfi Coast in a year or two, I want to be able to do that. I want my business to operate on its own. I want to be able to, you know, make money if I'm not servicing clients. I want to be able to teach classes. I want to be able to be a mentor in the industry. I want to be able to speak and be an ambassador for certain skincare lines. I did become an ambassador in 2025 for Dermastar, which is really cool because they are the first brand that I started to retail when I became an esthetician. And they're just the best. They're based here in Orlando, and I was able to go to trade shows with them and work with them. And that was a huge thing for me because in the past, I would probably have never put myself in that position just because I thought I wasn't worthy. And as well as I do on social media, and as much as I love to have a platform and talk to you guys, I think sometimes in real life, running a business, for me, I've constantly been in survival mode because like my journey has not been so easy. Like there's a lot of people that have had really easy journeys, and that was not the case for me. So I had to do a lot of things on my own and figure it out. And so that left me drained and exhausted, and at times a little bit depressed because I was like, it it can't be this hard, like not everybody is dealing with all these things that I'm dealing with. But I think now that that's over, I'm able to like really sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? So we're not all the way there yet, but we will be there in 2026. And just a few like months ago, I think I never imagined moving into the location that I have now, like to me, I walk in there and then I just look around, and it's not even it doesn't even look the way that I want it to look yet, but I'm just like, wow, like I can't believe that I really did it, And I think 2026 is going to be a whole lot of that feeling where it's like, I can't believe I really did it. I wanted this and now I've done it. Just things that you never imagined happening, numbers in your bank account that you never imagined, the amount of clients that you never imagined seeing a week, having more help in your business, getting more equipment, bringing on more skincare lines, all of those things, right? And so the reason that 2025 was so hard for a lot of us is that we were in a season of extreme transformation, like moments of losing friendships, moments of, having to cut back, moments of having to reevaluate, what is it that I really want out of these relationships, or what is it that, we're doing here? Like, does my nervous system feel calm around this person? Like, those are all like defining moments that, you're becoming more self-aware and you're realizing, how you want to feel and how you want to live your life. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. And moving forward, now you're able to set those boundaries and know, maybe that friend that I had and that we do all these things together, maybe I don't need to have that friend anymore. Or maybe, it's time to leave this relationship, or maybe, just whatever it is. I had a whole lot of that in 2025. So some friendships didn't make it into 2026. Some business relationships did not make it into 2026. And I only want people around me that, they want to see me do well and they want to see my business do well, but without like jealousy and envy, without, them feeling like, oh, Ericka's doing it, why can't I? Or whatever it is. Like, I only want friendships and relationships around me that they have a very similar mindset, because that's the energy that I give, like I want all of my friends to win. I want all of us to succeed. I was talking to somebody recently, and, we were both kind of saying that on the way to the top, like we're always reaching back and taking the people that we love with us, but not everybody is like that. And in 2026, that's what I want to do. I want to be a resource. I want to be, I want to be able to give. I want to be able to give to people. Not overextend my boundaries, but give in a way where it's like it's also benefiting me, and I'm not feeling drained, So those are kind of my goals for 2026. And I feel like you should have goals for 2026. I know that we just kind of started the year. What are we, we're 9 days in, but if you haven't created a vision board, or a lot of people are creating bingo cards now, I think you should do that. On my bingo card, I want to be as much as I love my business and I love social media, all that stuff, like I also want to be vacationing harder and like enjoying and celebrating harder than I work. Like, what is it? Like, work hard, play hard, you know? Like, I want to play hard in 2026. And I don't want to burn out. Taking on more responsibility this year, I just want to make sure that I'm able to like carry what needs to be carried and then give to somebody else whatever I need to give that I can't handle. That's what I want to do in 2026. So to close out this episode, I want to offer some advice. I think it's difficult for women, specifically women in the beauty industry. It doesn't matter if you're doing skin. It really doesn't matter what you're doing. But if you're in the beauty industry, there can be a lot of moments where you find yourself, you know, struggling to become an expert in whatever it is that you're doing, right? So whatever it is that you're doing in your business, really lock in on why you're doing it and who you're helping and who your client is, because that's what I figured out in 2025. So now that I know what works for my business, I'm going to create like a well-oiled operating machine in 2026, and I'm just going to build on that. So figure out what's working, whether it's services, whether it's people, whether it's, I don't know, the Wi-Fi. If you're overpaying for your Wi-Fi, look at your bill and get a different Wi-Fi provider, whatever it is. Niche down, hone in, lock in, figure it out, and stop just stop keeping things on like autopilot. No more of that. Like really sit down, identify what your goals are, like figure out what your habits are, and let go of all of those old habits keeping you stuck, because people want to see you stuck. People want to see you in the same position that you were in last year. They don't really want you to do, you know, move forward and do well and do better than them, right? So become the best version of yourself and let go of the dead weight. That's the piece of advice that I want to give you guys. We love you. We will see you on the next episode. Thank you for yapping. Thank you for listening. And if you have training tips for dachshunds, comment them below. We need help. He's 3 years old, by the way. We need help, okay? Cheers to 2026. Love you guys. See you on the next one.